what is going on, Sam Boy Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we've got the review for chapter 184 of Black Clover. Now, I did not get a chance to review this chapter last week, but nonetheless, what I would talk about in that review is just basically the same as that I'd be talking about in this review, and that is Dorothy's incredibly overpowered dream world magic. Now, this magic, when I first saw it, instantly kind of reminded me as like a real life kind of infinite, well, not infinite, but Tsukiyomi from Naruto, if you know what I mean. But what I mean by real life was the fact that obviously everything that happened within the Tsukiyomi world in Naruto never actually carried over into the real world in the series, whereas Dorothy's magic, it seems any damage that you take in Dorothy's dream dimension would carry over into the real world, because from what it seems, it's not like the characters have been put to sleep and it's all in their heads. It seems like they've genuinely just been teleported, picked up straight out of one dimension and put into Dorothy's dream dimension. Now, Dorothy's dream magic dimension, whatever you call it, dream world, probably suits her kind of perfectly. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, maybe some of you guys picked up on this way earlier on, but I don't know why I didn't think that her magic would be something like this, because Dorothy's always been a bit of a mystery throughout the series. She's always just been asleep and we have no idea as to why, and she's never had her eyes open. Now that she's awakened as an elf, we've finally seen her magic, and yeah, it was dream magic. It was pretty self-explanatory straight from the get-go, but I didn't pick up on it. Maybe some of you guys did, but like every stupidly powerful magic or attack or whatever it is should do, there is a very clear downside to this magic. And Sally, being the MVP that she is in this chapter, did incredibly well to pick up on it as quickly as she did. So essentially, with Dorothy's dream magic ability, anything that she consciously thought of, was created within her world, exact replicas of what it would be in the real world. So she created water, she created like swordfish, I think maybe some fire, all of this, and they had the exact same elemental properties as they would in the real world. And Sally picked up on this, noting that anything that is being thought of in her head was confirmed to be happening in the dream world as well. And the way she kind of come up with this was, you know, doing this and trying to make her think of glasses, and bang, glasses appeared. So she tried to nail into Dorothy's head the thought of an exit out of this world by, as you'd probably guess, just constantly shouting to Dorothy, make an exit, make an exit, make an exit. And as I'm sure you guys know, I mean, this is a completely logical way to actually beat Dorothy, and one that I personally love, because it kind of goes with Black Clover's kind of whole power scaling system, where it's kind of like you could have the most OP magic in the world, but that's not necessarily going to guarantee you an instant W in a fight, like we're seeing with Dorothy's magic. If you guys try and think of something, right? If you're thinking of something and you do everything you can to just try not to think about it, I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10 you start to think about that thing even more. And that happened to me over time. I do something, I say, right, we'll just forget about it. We'll forget about it. So I think about it, and then it does not leave my mind at all. And that's exactly what was displayed in this chapter with Sally taking on Dorothy. It sounds really weird saying taken on, because it makes it sound like they're in a fight, but it wasn't really a fight. It was just Sally being incredibly smart, as she is. And it kind of, you know, like I said, it's very logical to defeat Dorothy in this way. And we don't necessarily know if they've actually defeated Dorothy, because despite all the exits actually now being created, they haven't actually gone through any of them. So something tells me that maybe this fight's not 100% over. I'm not too sure. At least I don't think they went out of them. Maybe the last panel they jumped out. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure they didn't get out of this fight just yet. But they've clearly got the upper hand against Dorothy. And it makes sense, because Dorothy's entire kind of character trait, personality trait, I don't know what you'd call it, is kind of like being asleep, and her magic, you know, reinforces this. And basically, by making Dorothy wake up, could you say, like I was saying about just trying to nail something into her head, it was her weak point, her weak spot, her weakness towards this incredibly overpowered magic. Now, Dorothy's magic, I'd be interested to see what it's like without the obvious elf boost. That'd be interesting. Now that Dorothy's kind of been awakened, you know, excuse the pun, I'm really interested to see where they take her character going forward. If she's going to kind of go back to being the gag character, if you'd call her that, of just being asleep all the time, or if they're actually going to plan something to do with it now. I'm not too sure, but I want to come on to my next point now with Sally. Sally, personally, I hold my hands up right now, I think Sally should and quite possibly could join the Black Bulls. The reason I say this is because she fits the bill perfectly. She's an absolute nut job. She's nuts. She's so crazy, which is something every Black Bulls member has in common. She's incredibly powerful, but because she's so nuts, she's, you know, potentially kind of looked down upon, which is something Yami always kind of like picks up on in the Black Bulls members, which he takes in. Every member of the Black Bulls, they're incredibly talented, but there's something holding them back. Obviously, Asta, it was him being a commoner and having no magic power. With Noelle, it was her not being able to control her magic despite being a royal. Vanessa, all of these people had something inherently wrong with them. Sally is just being an absolute nut job. That is her inherent problem. And I think she'd be the perfect fit because obviously, like I said, she's a nut job, but a powerful nut job as well. She's an essential part to Asta's incredible harem that he's building. And last but not least, I think she'd be an incredible addition to the Black Bulls. Personally, just because of the scientific experiments she'd bring to the squad. It'd be hilarious trying to see her experiment on all the members, you know, with all their magic. It would make for a great gag moment, and also be great to actually unlock some new potential within our characters, because if she could tap into everyone, she'd be able to just flick a switch. Not necessarily, but you know what I'm trying to say. And all of a sudden she's kind of unlocked a new possibility, a new power potentially within our characters. And the main one this applies to is Asta. Maybe she could hold some sort of potential secret or lead to him kind of unlocking more of this Black Asta demon form that he's got going on within him. Maybe she could kind of kickstart the next step to go into Demon Form 2, or whatever you'd want to call it. But nonetheless, this chapter just basically made me fall in love with Sally. Sally was one of those characters which I liked. I liked how crazy she was. She was funny, but she was never really much of that. But seeing her actually fighting with the Black Bulls and just seeing how she does not look out of place with the Black Bulls whatsoever. So I personally think get her in the team. She'd be an absolutely fantastic addition to the Black Bulls squad. But guys, that's been it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're not already to become a member of the Senpai squad. Leave all of your thoughts and opinions on this chapter and what you think about Sally potentially being a Black Bulls member at some point in the future. Maybe there'd be a better jail time within there somewhere. I'm not too sure. But guys, see you guys in another video. Until then, peace.